As you're well aware, we're living in unprecedented times. Join us now for today's special program.
I want to spend my life mending broken people. I want to spend my life removing pain. Lord, let my words heal a heart that hurts. I want to spend my life mending broken people. I want to spend my life mending broken people.
Hello friends, welcome to 3AB, and today my name is John Lomacang, and as you see, my more beautiful half is right to my right. Hi, honey.
Hi, Hen. Hi, sweetie. I'm so happy to be here, aren't you?
I sure am.
Yeah.
And we have a wonderful couple today. Why don't you, before you introduce them, let me just thank our viewers and listeners for your prayers and financial support of this network that as we continue going and growing, getting ready for the coming of the Lord. And if you like to relax and you want to know the art of relaxing, you want to tape this program, because we have a couple today that we know fairly well, and they're going to share with you today what that means. But honey, why don't you go ahead and introduce our couple today before we go to our music?
Sure. This is a wonderful couple. We have known for quite a number of years.
That's right.
And he was the principal of my niece's school, Al Trace, and at Broadview Academy. Al and Brenda Trace, a wonderful couple that loves the Lord, have dedicated their lives to ministry, to serving the Lord and to helping others. Welcome, both of you. Al and Brenda, welcome. Glad to
Thanks,
have
John and Angie. It's great to be here with you.
Yes. In a nutshell, before we go to music, Al, just give us a 30-second overview of who you are, what you do, and where you are right now.
Well, I'm Al, and this is Brenda. We both work at Black Hills School of Massage on the campus of Black Hills Health and Education Center. And I'm the director of the program, and my right-hand person here is one of our instructors, and she teaches a lot of the classes. And it's been a great experience. We've been out there now for 5.5 years.
Wow.
That long.
Yeah.
You've been teaching for a number of years, haven't you, Al?
Yeah, too many, I think, at times. About 25, 30 years, I guess.
Wow.
In one way or another,
Yeah.
And Brenda, kind of give us a little spiel about you, because some people may be saying, I know exactly who she is,
And some
but
people
others
may
might
not.
say, who is Brenda Trace?
Yeah, well, so when we went to the Black Hills, I did a variety of things as well as teaching. I've been the therapeutic chef on campus. I did development for a little while. I tried everything, I think, but ended up really just loving the teaching part, and it makes it a lot easier to teach when you don't have 5 other things that you're doing. So as the school has grown, then that has pretty much become my part-time thing. I'm also a grandma, so I like to leave time in there to go play with my grandkids occasionally.
And not counting the chocolate lab.
Yeah,
No,
and
you're
not counting
right.
the dog, right?
There you go. That's it, baby.
Well, it's always good to have you. As we look at you, our memories just kind of start rolling.
I know.
Thinking of your impact on our niece's life when you were at Broadview Academy, and how the Lord has led you guys through the years. And here we are. We're getting older and getting wiser, and God is still using us.
Wiser.
I like these wiser. Honey, who do we have for music today?
We have Jamie George. He's going to be playing his wonderful violin, Standing on the Promises.
It's always encouraging and enthusiastic to start a program with somebody as exciting as Jamie George.
It is, and the music is just outstanding.
That's right.
Standing on the promises.
Instead of sitting on the premises. I always have to say that.
I know.
Anyway, we have a wonderful couple today with us. We just briefly introduced you to them. And Al and Brenda, it's been a while, but we know the Lord is working in your lives in a powerful way. So what do you think we want to start out by asking them, honey?
What is Black Hills? We've been to Black Hills.
Oh, we
haven't
sure have, and enjoyed it.
Yeah, it's a beautiful place. Tell us about Black Hills. What is it and where is it?
Well, the Black Hills Health and Education Center
Yes.
was founded in 1979. And it's located about 25 miles south of Rapid City. We're about 15, 20 minutes from Mount Rushmore. We're in the foot of the hills. And we're close to Custer State Park, which is an amazing place to visit. We're in a beautiful place, actually. We have the Battle Creek that flows right through our property. And yeah, Red Rock Canyon, it's a gorgeous place.
You know, while you're describing this, I want to show some of those pictures because I know you brought some beautiful pictures of just the description of how gorgeous that location is. We were out there, we walked, they said to us, okay, we already had breakfast, now it's time to go for a walk.
Right.
And I thought it was going to be a short walk. I thought we were walking back home. but they said, you'll enjoy it, and they really worked us over there. But
Did we see moose? Was it there that we saw moose?
no, it was in, I think it was closer to Canada when we did that.
Okay.
But let's look at some of these pictures of Black Hills. Let's look at that.
Beautiful.
Gorgeous morning in the foothills.
Right.
And let's see another one here. As you're entering, welcome to Black Hills.
It's a lot of acres, isn't it?
260 acres.
260 acres. And look at that. That's the center we stayed in when we went there. You wake up in the morning, it's just crisp. You don't hear cars honking, just nature breathing at you in the morning. How wonderful it is there. But give us an overview. We know what's new there, because we talked about it as a lifestyle center.
Right.
Yep.
And what would you tell us about some of the programs that are there at Black Hills?
What do you offer?
Well, as you mentioned, we have the Lifestyle Center, where people come to change their lifestyle because of some kind of illness or sickness that they might have had. But some people come just to get a health recharge. And we still have those. We have the massage school, which was there a number of years ago, then closed for a little while and was reopened again in 2015. So we've been back to the massage school. And what's new is we're starting something called a gospel health training program. So we're sort of taking an overview of the different things that we offer. We're putting health into it. We're doing gospel training, and that's going to be just a 3-month program for people who are excited about coming and taking a short-term program and then going back to their church and being able to implement some of those things. And we have that one. The first one is starting fairly soon in April, so not too far away, and then it will just be for around 3 months. So that's an exciting thing. Somebody could call and get more information on that. That's definitely the new thing. That's the newest program that we have coming up.
So gospel training, what is that?
Well, it's training there'll be training how to give Bible studies,
Nice.
how to reach people, but along that same way, they'll also be learning natural remedies, some herbs, a little bit of hydrotherapy, how to teach people. And certainly we're living in an era when learning how to get well is important.
Yeah.
And that's true with all this COVID going on. I know that Black Hills is very hands-on. How do you handle the COVID environment? That's just really a challenge.
Well, we thought that was going to be a real issue at first. A lot of states closed down massage therapy where therapists couldn't work. Governor Noem from South Dakota is pretty famous because she doesn't shut things down. And she's gotten a lot of criticism for it, but it actually has been a positive thing in my perspective. Yeah. It's like she's encouraging their citizens to make good choices. And we business as usual, basically. Our clinic for our students, we have been operating. We ask the guests, the clients that come in, if they want us to wear a mask. if they want to wear a mask. And the neat thing about it is we ask all of them if they would like us to pray with them at the beginning of each massage. So it hasn't really taken a toll. Several people have actually been tested positive for COVID. But then again, a lot of people don't have symptoms, even though they test positive. So it's really been, it hasn't been impacted a lot. It did slow things down. Our guests, we didn't get as many guests coming to the program, but we see that rebounding, and now we're making an effort to be more focused on our local community.
Brenda,
Yeah.
you were going to say something.
Well, I was just thinking too, in the middle of all that, we were really blessed to have a Maranatha team come this summer. Kind of, maybe not in the middle, but they came this summer, and it was just fantastic to see so many people. I wasn't actually there for part of it. Was it 40 or 50 people that
40,
came?
50 people on
And
campus.
helping us with some of the buildings. We've been there for quite a while in some of our buildings, and we live in an area that gets some harsh weather, so the buildings can kind of take a beating. And it was just great to see all these people there working and working together. It's always exciting to be a part of a Maranatha project.
Didn't we have a picture of that?
Yeah, we have I like to look at those buildings, the before and after, actually during.
Here it is.
Those are the buildings that Maranatha are working on. You talked about some of the impact. What's making them change the outsides? I think you talked about nature's impact.
Yeah, what happened was, I didn't realize this until we'd been there for a while. We have woodpeckers all over the campus, and they like the siding on the what we call a red canyon, and they will peck holes in the thing, and they'll make their nests inside. And when they fly off, we put foam in there. They come back, pick that foam out, and it just really tore up the siding on our Red Canyon units. And so we've been waiting for years now to have Maranatha. They had been wanting to come several years ago and couldn't schedule it. And finally, this last summer, they came in, and we have new siding on.
Nice.
And don't we have a new roof?
Yeah.
ASI helped us to get a new roof for it, so it's just great when ministries can all work together.
Yeah.
That's right.
And one of the big challenges there in the summer months is hail. I mean, we get
really?
hail
Oh.
In the summer?
in the summer.
That sounds weird, right?
I know.
Yeah, hail.
We were at church one time in very early September,
Yeah.
and it was not, and the church is a little bit away, maybe 5 miles from the center,
Right.
and we all stayed for potluck, and when we drove home and we got back to the center, there was probably 2 or 3 inches of hail
Actually, more than that.
on the
Right.
ground.
Yeah.
That had covered.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, it's just, it will hit in certain areas, and so it can be a little bit of a challenge.
Statewide in South Dakota has been major challenges for the farmers because of the crops. They can be just totally wiped out in a matter of 15, 20 minutes.
Wow, I didn't think about that up there. I know you get snow, but hail, that's something else up there.
Wow. What about the massage school? Tell us a little more. What is that? We know it's a massage school, but tell us about it.
We 5 years ago, or 5.5 years ago, got a phone call from a friend of ours and said, "Hey, would you come out and teach massage for a couple of months?" And it's like, that's South Dakota. November, it's getting cold. And we decided, you know what, that'd be fun to do. We went out for 2 months, and 5.5 years later, we're still hanging out there. So the massage school, as Brent said, has actually started in 1999, before licensure was required. But in 2007, the state of South Dakota started requiring licensure for massage schools. And so we applied to be recognized by the state, which we are. We're a state recognized school now. We are the only Adventist and probably maybe one or two of the only Christian massage schools in the nation. And every weekly I get phone calls saying, "I want to know about the massage school." And I ask, "How did you hear about us?" "Well, we Googled Christian massage school and your name came up." And so, yeah, it's been an amazing experience. God is just blessed, and we get the amazing students, don't we, honey?
Yeah, we do. And it's interesting because you would think massage actually attracts a wide variety of ages.
Right.
We get some younger people in fact, Al really encourages younger people to come to massage school, and then they'll have a means to pay for college if they want to go to college after that, particularly if they want to go into a health science. But we get people that are in their late 30s, 40s, and our oldest student was
67.
67. He was a retired military, and he wanted to do something to give back. And he was one of those who was sitting in England when they were about to be transferred back to the U.S., and he Googled Christian massage school and found out that there was one, and they were moving back to Rapid City, so he found out there was one really close to, and he kind of, in maybe typical military fashion, he and his wife came to our clinic, never said anything about considering coming to the school. They just came as clients to the student clinic several times, kind of just checking us out quietly on the sly, and then applied. And I was like, what? You want to go to massage school? And then we found out that that was the whole reason they had come as clients, and they just loved the program, loved the students, and said yes, they definitely wanted to be a part of it. So he came 3 years ago, I think, to the program. So
he was a retired colonel.
Wow.
Yeah.
So he had a military approach to massage.
Yeah. It's amazing, though. He was a great therapist, is a great therapist. Actually, honey, he was 50. It was our friends from Okinawa that was the 67-year-old.
Oh, okay. Yeah, we had a couple, a father and a son, who came from Okinawa 1 year. They couldn't stay for the whole program at that time because we didn't have what's called CVIS, so they came for part, but we now, after many years and lots of prayers, have something called CVIS so that international students can come and stay for the whole program and complete it.
How does that work?
Well, it's actually changed. When we applied for it, we had a 6-month residential program. Now, last year in, March, we were going to start another program for 6 months. And then everything went crazy with COVID.
Right.
And so as a board member of the State Board of Massage in South Dakota, I called up our executive secretary and said, Mitch, can we do online classes for our sciences? I know that some states don't allow that. I'm not sure why. Universities teach online.
Okay.
And he says, no, well, you can teach, absolutely. It's part of our rules and regulations. So we called the students and said, we're making a change here. Instead of you coming to campus for 6 months, for the first 4 months, we're going to teach our sciences online with Zoom.
Okay. Ooh. Wow.
Yeah. And it's changed everything for us. Then we get the whole issue of being able to now issue M1 visas. So that makes it easier. So international students don't have to come to campus for 7 months. They can come for the hands-on work after they do the online program.
Which is 11 to 12 weeks. So it's quite a difference. It allows people to stay home longer and work while they're still taking classes. And it was, along with a whole lot of other teachers, we'd never taught on Zoom. So it was quite an experience to suddenly put classes onto Zoom. And some people say, well, that doesn't sound very exciting, but it ended up actually, we felt, being a benefit, not just people being able to stay home and work longer and to be able to further program. And we were actually able to lower the cost of the program a little bit. But
$2,000.
Wow.
Wow.
But the other thing that was really great is that students actually see each other.
You know what? I never thought about that because it brings them all together in the same visual classroom.
Yeah, if you're sitting in a classroom, you're just looking at the back of someone's head who's ever in front of you. But on Zoom, everybody sees everybody because you're just all right there face to face. I have to say it was a little disconcerting to stare at myself while I was teaching a class to begin with, but it was great to have every student like right there. It feels more one-on-one or more personal, really, in a lot of ways, even though you're not in the same room.
That is exciting, isn't it?
I know. If you think about it that way, so let's just take our audience through a day at Black Hills.
Right.
Okay.
You begin your day, kind of what time is
Breakfast at 7:45.
breakfast? 7:45.
Are we talking about if you're a lifestyle guest or if you're a...
Well, yeah, let's start with the guests.
Okay.
Sure.
And then we'll go to the student day.
Okay. So guests come for breakfast at 7:45, and then they might have
Walk.
a walk, Yeah, we're all about walking. And we send them out for a walk, and then they'll have maybe some treatments. They might get a massage, they might get a hydro treatment, they might get any variety of things, a Russian steam bath, a jacuzzi. Oftentimes there's...
You're really making it easy for us to come back to Black Hills.
Like, wow, we need that, don't we?
Yeah.
And then there will be a lecture just before lunch, a health lecture. Lunch is at 2 o'clock. And then there will be another walk after lunch. And then there might be some free time or a touristy kind of, visit. They might go to Mount Rushmore or something sometimes in the afternoon. And they might have some counseling sessions. We do something called biblical response therapy that people, that is used in counseling, teaching you how to apply scripture to the challenges in your life.
Wow, I like that.
Me too.
Mm-hmm.
And then after, we only serve 2 meals a day, so there's not a supper. But in the evening, there'll be more gathering in kind of a fireside room where they'll maybe have another lecture of some sort, or they might put puzzles together, or that type of thing. We try to balance the teaching with the ability to relax, because many people come very highly stressed, and they need that opportunity to just sort of decompress for a little while.
I like that.
Do you have success stories?
Yeah, we have had several. My favorite success story comes from when I was in the kitchen, and we had an individual who actually works for a ministry, very, very busy, who had been a diabetic diagnosed with diabetes about 20 years before. And he'd been trying to come, and he just couldn't seem to get away. But he did come, and he actually was able to get off of his meds and jumpstart the function of his pancreas, and actually he started right there within 17 days, he started to reverse his diabetes. So
Wow.
that's really exciting when you can have those kind of results. Of course, we have people who, lose 10, 15 pounds. You can see, and their numbers drop. It doesn't seem like you can do much change in 18 or 19 days, but people really can.
Now, we went out there for the 18 and 19 days. I think we were there maybe.
It's for ministry, wasn't it?
Yeah, we were there for ministry. They invited us to do
Right.
some ministry there. And when you said 2 meals a day, what time is the second meal?
2 o'clock.
2 o'clock.
Okay, good. Now, I want to make sure that people knew that, because when you say that's the last meal of the day, in the minds of some people, they say, do you mean my last meal of the day is 2 o'clock?
It's the last supper.
The last supper. And they think about it as like, so what do we do after that? You go to bed at 4. No, but because it allows, talk about the principle behind that, because a lot of times the SAD, Standard American Diet, is let's just keep eating until we're tired and just go right to bed. Why do you have such amount of time between the last meal and then bedtime?
Go for it.
Well, I think now it's interesting to me because, we were, the Adventist Church was given counsel many years ago in the late 1800s that it would be good for the body to have 2 meals a day. But now it's been given a cute little term of intermittent fasting, and it's really very popular in the U.S. It's now a embraced diet that people do. You can put in intermittent fasting into the computer, and it will pull up all kinds of, you should do this. But basically, the idea is that you eat in a window of time. And for us, that's 2 meals. Some people will eat 3 meals in that window of time, but for us, that's 2 meals. And what it does, first of all, is if you have that 5-6 hours, it allows that first meal to really digest thoroughly. Many people don't let their food digest completely because they're just shoving more food in. But when you're a diabetic, the thing that's very important is that as long as you are eating, then you constantly put blood sugar or glucose into your bloodstream. So you really don't allow the body time to recover. And also, it's great for losing weight because as long as you're feeding the body doesn't have to go to the fat stores. So when you do intermittent fasting, when you have these pauses in between and the body is looking for nutrition or energy, then it goes to the fat stores to help to burn those. But as long as you're feeding it, it doesn't have to go to the fat stores.
That makes sense.
Yeah, the fat stores. Are they like in the community?
Yeah,
Walmart.
evidently.
I mean, and when you think about that, and we don't think about that. So it's not only a lifestyle well, let me just use it. It's a lifestyle adjustment. Yeah. So if you're there after they're 18 days, some people probably go back home, and there are various reactions. I guess on one side, some people might say, "Oh, I could eat again," and other people say, "You know what? I've learned to live differently, and I like the change in my life, and I'm off my medication. I feel healthier." What are some of the impacts that people talk about?
Well, you know, I can only speak for myself.
Right.
Years ago, this is another story, but I'll make it brief. I had quadruple bypass surgery,
That's right.
and 70 pounds lighter today than I was then.
Wow.
And we went to a two-day meal program. Brenda was my
Two meal a day
therapist.
program.
Yeah, 2 meal a day program. We've been I've been on it ever since. We both have been on it ever since. And I get to share that with our guests and how it works, and it makes a difference.
70 pounds. Well, you had open heart surgery.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my.
Quadruple bypass.
Whoa.
Yeah, you guys remember that? That's when he was principal at Broadview.
That's
It was
right.
a really scary
Yes.
time for us.
That's right.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean,
And yeah, I never thought that would happen. You know, I've been an athlete like you, John, all my life, and basketball, volleyball, mountain biking, feeling like I was,
invincible.
invincible.
Yeah, but you never know. And this is something I've learned also, and I've shared this about my wife. My wife would get on the treadmill and be on there for 50 minutes, 55 minutes. I can't. And she keeps saying, you got to get on the treadmill.
Yeah.
You know, I'm a basketball player. I like to get into active sports like
And he's
pickleball.
so thin, you figure,
And, yeah, and people think that because you're thin, you're in great health, but that's not the case.
Right.
It's usually what's going on the inside of the body.
yeah.
Wow.
It's
But-
good to get the workout. It's actually very good for the body to keep that body moving, isn't it?
Right.
Yeah,
Body's in
and
motion.
we actually do have a gym, a workout center at the.
Oh, there is a gym.
Yeah, so you don't always have to be outside or inside, but we really like fresh air too, so we try to get people out as much as possible. But, you know, for many people who come really stressed, just the exercise can totally change their life. And besides the meals, you know, you're putting in good food,
Yeah.
but then you're really just kind of decompressing. Most people stay in what we call fight or flight mechanism way too much, just on a regular
Yeah.
basis, and they don't even know what it means to feel to be relaxed.
The body's under tension, but they got so used to the way it feels.
Right.
Yeah, that's what they just stay there all the time.
And you know, I think that sometimes we're in that mode because our schedules are just, you know, I hear you guys inviting us there. I mean, I could hear it. It's subliminal.
Absolutely.
I don't know what he's talking about.
But
In the summer.
in the exactly in the summer, let's bring our umbrellas for hail.
Oh, yeah.
But really, that's true when people are living in the fast pace. And a lot of times people think because we're here in West Frankfort, Southern Illinois, where there's a lot of fields around us, you know, thousands of acres, but we have a very demanding lifestyle, which when we went up there and we woke up the first morning, I remember that we walked outside, it was like, even though it's quiet out here, there was a different feeling at Black Hills. And we walked in expecting everybody to be highly energetic and good morning, everybody. But everybody was like, good morning. Glad to
Very peaceful.
very peaceful. You know, everybody would just seem like, wow, nobody's like over loud or too soft. It was just such a calm atmosphere. After a while, I just started, okay, we could relax.
Yeah.
And they're really into green salads. I mean, I really enjoyed. They gave us a bowl of salad, which my wife is a real salad person.
Oh, absolutely. Let's show a couple more pictures. I know we have some of the beautiful Black Hills. There we
Okay, tell
go.
us what we're
That's
seeing.
that's the lifestyle center that's tucked away up right, on the hill.
And what's in the lifestyle center? What,
Yes.
that's the
We
main
have
building?
13 guest rooms. We have like I said, our fitness center. We have a personal trainer on staff, and it's a beautiful building.
This is our creek.
That's Battle Creek, and it's a famous creek actually. Battle Creek flows into the Cheyenne River. The Cheyenne River flows into the Missouri. And my joke to Brenda when we were driving back east was, honey, we're getting ready to cross the Missouri River. some of our water from Battle Creek's flowing through that river.
Wow, so it just kind of opens up as it goes further downstream.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing.
Okay, and who are these guys?
Those guys, that's George Worthington, Washington.
George Worthington, Washington.
We're about 15, 20 minutes from Mount Rushmore. All of our guests, that's the, we have a whole routine of where we take people to the Badlands, to what am I trying to say?
Mount Rushmore.
Mount Rushmore to Custer State Park, where there's 1,500 bison running free.
You were right. You were right. My wife said, you said moose. That's
but it's
why.
the bison.
It's the bison.
The bison.
That's what.
And we do
driving
have
up
elk.
there-
We do have elk near us too.
But driving up there, we had to slow down some because there was some in the road.
Oh yeah.
They just stand there, look at you like you're going like 60 miles an hour. They go,
Yeah. And you don't
excuse
want to
me,
get
this
out
is my
your car
backyard.
and get up close and personal with them to take a picture. Every year, about half a dozen people are killed because they want a close-up picture of the bison.
right.
So-
And those are machines.
They're huge.
Yeah,
they're
they could
beautiful.
They could really crinkle a little car. I've seen that happen.
Yeah.
Let's look at some other pictures too, because you have some. Yeah, we
Yes.
have some more there.
Here we go. Oh,
We do get winter. We do get snow. We don't get tremendous amounts of snow there like people think we do.
is that
Our,
the
our
lot?
climate is very similar to Denver,
Oh, yeah.
but we're tucked away in the Black Hills, so it's a little bit more, it's milder.
That's the Badlands right there.
That's the
Lift up my
Badlands.
eyes to the
That's a special place as well.
And
And
that-
that's that little knob up the top there is called Inspiration Point. And all of our guests don't have to, but we encourage them by the end of the time they're on campus that they hike up there. It's a beautiful
How far?
view. You can see into the Badlands from up on that
That's
point.
not that far.
Yeah, it's
It's just
right on
steep.
campus.
Oh, steep.
Now this is a calendar picture.
Yeah, it's a
Oh.
calendar.
You know, this is the kind of picture you
Yeah,
get in
it's
calendar.
the
You guys-
wild
that's your
flocks.
backyard.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We
it's
love
gorgeous.
flocks. We love flocks.
Those purple flowers are phlox.
Oh,
Oh, that's a flock. I never knew what that was. You know, I'm thinking sheep here.
me
Yeah.
too.
Birds.
Birds, sheep,
Church members.
church members.
Flock.
They told us about that hill because we did a couple of mornings when we did walks, and they said, now we encourage you, like you said before you leave, to go up to the hill, and we never made it. But maybe next time we'll go up the hill.
This summer,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, that'd be nice. And then we went to the exercise fitness center. You guys have a lot of different kinds of machines.
Yeah, it's all Nautilus equipment.
Yeah.
You know, so it's really it's a great facility.
How do you social distance and teach? How does that work? Is that through the Zoom that you were talking about? Oh.
You know, we have in South Dakota, it's much more. What's the word, honey? The governor says make good decisions.
Yeah.
They haven't said, you know, stores will require masks, but people aren't required to wear masks at most places. I think our church in Hermosa is still doing potluck, still having church every Sabbath.
Wow.
So it's for some people that's real controversial. And the media like to pay attention to South Dakota because you know we're going against the grain, so to speak.
Well, you're way up there. You're in a broad, open spectrum,
Yeah.
but that doesn't say it minimizes the possibilities.
No.
But you're not in Miami, Florida. You're not in New York, where it's just so much shoulder-to-shoulder kind of activity. Even though it's kind of calmed down a lot since COVID, people have become more sensitive to
And
that.
we'll get people that come in as guests that want to wear masks, and we'll wear. You know, one guy came with double masks, and you know he was very careful, and we respect that. He didn't get COVID while he was there, and, you know.
And we're careful too. We clean thoroughly and disinfect,
good
and
to
we
know.
keep all of we follow all those guidelines. We don't, and we allow people to. I mean, we're not, putting 25 people in a small room or anything like that.
No.
We're being careful. The interesting thing with our students is we say, they only sit two people at a table, so they're spaced apart where they're actually there for class. Massage tables are spaced around the clinic, so there's lots of room to actually practice social distancing. Obviously, if you're working on somebody on the table, you're not 6 feet away from them, although I've seen a few things posted online about people using sticks and that kind of stuff, but we don't do that. But we didn't last year, we didn't have a single person even get sick. They didn't even get a cold in the time that they were there. So
It's because they eat 2 meals a day.
yeah.
Okay. And the hydrotherapy, talk about that a little bit, because people hear that word hydrotherapy. I know a really, really funny story of a guy that went up there to Black Hills and talk about the hot and cold treatment. That's the one that really is funny to me, because if you're not used to it, it can be quite awakening.
Yeah.
Bren loves to put me in that hot and cold shower, with the emphasis on cold.
Let me tell you the story, and then you can talk about. This is a really funny story. It just stays in the back of my mind when I hear hydrotherapy. Well, we had a guy here that wanted to unwind, so they said, well, we recommend that you try hydrotherapy. Well, it's, you're in a shower, but there's jets coming from different directions, right? So they started out, and they warmed it up slowly, because you don't want to bake anybody in there. And they said, is that comfortable? I said, okay, that's hot enough. And then all of a sudden, it was just without any notice, it went from really nice, comfortable hot to cold. And they said they heard somebody screaming down the hallway. They thought a woman was being beaten up. It was him. He said he was screaming like a woman defending herself. What does that do? What does the hydrotherapy do?
Well, let me just interject really quick here. I like really hot, and I'm not a big fan of cold.
Right.
So when Al and I go and use the contrast shower, that's what it's called.
Contrast.
And we have a dial. We see exactly the temperature and drop it, right? So, and we encouraged our students to use it, particularly because it stimulates the immune system. It stimulates white cell production. It's very good for helping you to stay healthy. So I encouraged the students to go. So it was funny, because I get it down to maybe 75, and I think it's freezing cold. And the students came in and they said, we went to the contrast shower, but it couldn't get cold enough for us. And I was like, say what? Yeah, it wouldn't get any colder than 60 degrees. I'm like, say what? Have you ever been in 60-degree water? It's cold. It's
cold.
It's really cold. And I was like, well, no, it just wouldn't get any colder. Well, then I mentioned that story to our founder, Willard Worth, who still lives there. And he said that's because the ground temperature the ground temperature water stays at 59 degrees. So no, it won't get lower than 60. But I was just stunned. These students were like, oh, it wouldn't go any lower than 60. And I thought, well, that feels like ice to me. But
Me too.
Yeah. Well, and the interesting thing is that we have 5 wells on campus.
Wow.
So the water is great. When we come away from there and drink water, it's like, we want to go back and drink the water. It's wonderful.
They did talk about the natural water from the natural wells on the land.
From aquifers, yeah. Now let me share something that you don't even know about this. At the hotel this morning, I figured, I'm going to do a contrast shower. And sometimes, at home you kind of get used to how far you got to turn that.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I put it on. It was nice and warm, and I figured, I'm just going to jerk it on down. I about jumped out of the shower. Boy, that was Illinois water. It wasn't 50 or 60 degrees.
No, it was like 35.
It was. I said, okay, let's go back up to the warmer.
So that's how you got the 3 ABN so quickly.
That's right.
You just ran out of the place. Honey, let's not do that again.
But I never liked it. But boy, now I really do. My body can tolerate the colder water. I've got lots of body fat, as you can tell.
You really?
Yeah.
It'll take me a while to get
We
used
have to try this.
I
I hear you scream.
My wife will probably put a lock on the shower door.
Sorry, John.
I like it hot. I like the water.
Yeah, she does. Yeah, sometimes she sets a tub for me, and it's like, honey, are you going to be boiling potatoes in here? And she said, well, that's comfortable for me.
Right.
So it differs from person to person. Let's look at the picture. You have some massage students. I want to get a chance to see these students, because with the international program, describe what we're seeing, because somebody's listening to the program.
Yeah, we're unique in the fact that we get students from all over the country. In South Dakota, I think there's 6 massage schools, and we're the only one of our kind in the state. And it's so the last class we had the students came from 5 time zones.
Wow.
So we had to figure out, okay, we're starting classes in the Eastern time zone at 5:30 in the afternoon, evening. Well, when they get to the Pacific time zone, then it's 2:30. So it still works. And they said, well, how are we going to work? I says, well, work it out with your boss and see if you can schedule that.
You know, if I could just jump in here, one question that we often get asked, as I'm looking at that picture of our students, you'll notice there were 2 guys in that picture, that we had 2 male students in the last class and the rest were women.
Here it is.
But one of the questions that we are often asked is about cross-gender or male-female massage.
Oh, yeah.
So in the school, we actually do not allow students to give a massage to someone of the opposite sex.
Okay.
In the class.
In the class. If someone's coming into the clinic and you think when you go to work that you want to work on both and you want to do that for the clinic, but we also don't allow students to give a member of the opposite sex of someone who works on campus a massage. So we try to really maintain that boundary of familiarity or not familiarity, that you're not working on someone who's disrobed of the opposite sex of someone that you're going to see on a regular basis. So we try to keep the numbers even, so that if we have male students, we hope that we have an even number of male students, because they're not working on the women in the class, and there's draping between many massage schools. It sounds like, oh yeah, of course, but in many massage schools, the tables are just open in a classroom, and people just undress in front of everyone and get on the table, and guys work on girls and women work on guys, and you don't necessarily get that privilege of saying, I don't want to work on the opposite sex. So that's something that we really try to maintain, and many of our students really appreciate that. And it's often a question we get asked when people call, and they'll say, do I have to work on members of the opposite sex? And we're happy to tell them, no, you do not.
Good.
Yeah, we get couples massage every now and then.
Right, exactly.
And usually have the female work on me and the male. And
And that's good. That's healthy. That's a healthy boundary to keep. Talk about the future of Black Hills. What are some of the needs that you foresee will be a part of the program as it continues to go forward? Not only the massage program, but Black Hills in general.
The massage school, I'll just mention that briefly. You know, we're not a Title IV school, meaning we don't get, the students aren't eligible for federal funding. And that's an intentional thing for us.
Okay.
And so they have to raise the money on their own. And so I have a document that I send out to all the prospective students saying, here's the ways that you potentially can get some funds. You know, maybe your church will pastor you. We've had churches sponsor their church members to come to the school. And it's a challenge, you know, and so that's the need we have. We started a Worthy Student Fund 2 years ago. It didn't cover a lot, but it's been it's a real blessing that we can help students. And so we're always looking for people that say, hey, if you'd like to sponsor one of our students, give me a call, because we'd love to work with you to help that student. And the majority of our students are very ministry and mission focused. They're not just about going out and, oh, I want to make money. Some of them do make money. We have one young lady from last year, she's averaging, $6,000 a month right now.
what?
She's working with her mom in a clinic. That's unusual. Most of our students will go to work at other lifestyle centers. They will go, some want to go to the mission field, you know, so that there's a variety of things that they do.
I think one of our other needs is we always have people who would like to come as guests to improve their health, who might not have the funding for that. So we also have that need to have a resource to help other people, that they pay part of it and someone else helps to pay part of it. And I think the new Gospel Health Training Program is going to be a really exciting program that's also, and we always have ongoing needs, as I said, for our buildings that get beaten up by the weather. There's, you know, the structural, that kind of thing as well.
And the neat thing about Black Hills is we have no debt at all.
Praise the Lord.
Yeah, which is really kind of unusual. So, you know, we're blessed. So, but we need the help. If you feel inspired that you would like to share, we'd love to talk with you about it.
Now, what I'd like to do, you brought a video with you. It's about 5 minutes, and right after the video, what we're going to do is we're going to go to the address roll, and then we're going to come back on the other side and kind of give a few closing thoughts. Let's look at that video right now.
Hi, my name is Al Trace. I'm director of the massage school at Black Hills School of Massage. And it's been a real privilege for the last 5 years to work with young people and some older people that want to learn how to do massage therapy as a ministry or as a career. We've been really blessed visiting families working together, a ministry down in Wambley, South Dakota. having the opportunity to visit the ministry, families working together in Wombly, South Dakota, has been a real neat experience for the students and myself and my wife as instructors. The things that they're doing here are just pretty exciting. There are a lot of people in this community who are challenged with lots of issues in their lives. Pine Ridge Reservation really can be considered a food desert. And there's so many needs that they have, and it's been just such a great experience to be part of the ministry here just for this weekend, as we've done massages on guests coming in, people in the community.
Okay, my name's Ron Cotner. We're here in Wombly and at the Neighbors Helping Neighbors. They sent out an invitation for people to come in and get massages from the students in the Black Hills Massage School. And it was great. I feel much more relaxed, especially in my shoulders. But so I'm really grateful and thankful for these folks for coming to Wombly and helping us with our stress and our bodies, or we carry it in our bodies. But the massage was really good. The gentleman that worked on me was real confident and professional, and I appreciate it. I feel much better.
Where we're at this weekend, there's one ambulance, no police station, no fire station, and it's just a real challenge. If somebody gets sick, if it's serious, they have to be life flighted to Rapid City. It's just been a wake-up call for us to see the needs that are here, and we've just been blessed by being able to hopefully bring a ray of hope to some of these folks as they receive massage, and we witness the foods that's being given out to the people in this community.
My name is Nelly Perico. I'm from Colombia, South America, and I came to Black Hills because God gave me the opportunity to become a massage therapist. And I have been really blessed during this time at the school. Black Hills is a beautiful place with amazing nature, and the quality of the education here is a Christian education. So I feel so happy to meet the beautiful people and the classes that we have been having, and the experiences going to do massage in different places and locations. I really recommend this program to anyone interested to become a massage therapist.
Hey, I'm Adam Stacy. I am a student at the Black Hills School of Massage. I'm originally from Baton Rouge, Louisiana, and I've been up here at the Black Hills Health and Education Center for the past year. I'm also a staff member, and I'm in the program because I want to be able to have a bigger impact in the ministry at the Black Hills, and to be able to give massages to our lifestyle guests who come through. And so I'm in the program to have another tool in the belt of ministry for the Lord. And I'm really thankful for the opportunity that I've had to do that here. And I feel like I've grown a lot, not just in learning massage, but in growing closer to the Lord as well, and making lifelong friends here. And so I encourage anyone who has the opportunity to go into this sort of ministry to do so. And this is the only school that uses Christ as our head. Thank you so much for considering the Black Hills Health and Education Center and the School of Massage.
If you would like to know more about Black Hills Health and Education Center, you can call them at 605-255-4101. That's 605-255-4101. You can also write to them at 13815 Battle Creek Road, Hermosa, South Dakota, 57744. That's 13815 Battle Creek Road, Hermosa, South Dakota, 57744. You can also visit their website at www.bhhec.org. That's www.bhhec.org.
Well, friends, you know our time comes and goes so quickly, but we want to give Al and Brenda a chance to challenge you today. What's on your heart, Al?
You know, if you really feel like you need to make a change in your life, come out to the Black Hills. It's such a beautiful, relaxing place. Get well. If you want to become a massage therapist in a Christian school, an Adventist Christian school, give us a call. We'd love to talk to you. Bren?
And if you're looking for an outreach for your church, come to the Gospel Health Training Program and see what you can learn that you can take back to your community, that you can make a difference in the time that we have remaining on this earth.
And thank you so much for being here. Was that a good program?
Oh, it's beautiful. What is the saying? Let food be thy medicine.
And medicine
be your food.
Wow. Well, we've been to Black Hills before, but as you can tell, during the program, they kept inviting us, and we're going to go back. But we're looking forward to some good, get out of the city, relaxing times.
And we'd love to see you there.
That's right. So don't forget Black Hills Education, Health and Education Center. But also at 3ABN, we thank you for taking the time to tune in. We always know that your life will be blessed. And until we see you the next time, may the Lord continue to richly bless you.
Amen.